Hello, and welcome to the Being Human podcast, where we explore what it means to truly be human, physically, mentally, and spiritually. We upload an episode of this podcast every single week. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss any of these episodes. On this episode of the podcast, I sat down with Mr. Riley Daniels, Mr. Judo Jimmy Wallhead, and Mr. Joseph Taylor. We recapped Riley's fight from last weekend on BMF. Riley had a very close fight. He unfortunately lost by split decision. Obviously, we're all biased, but we do think it was a robbery. And even if it wasn't a robbery, we do think Riley won the fight. A very close fight, like we said. Whenever it goes to the judges in a contest that's as close as that, you don't know how it's going to turn out. We watched it back on this episode of the podcast, provided some commentary throughout, dissected it, and then Jimmy, Joe, and Riley gave their opinions on whether he won after the fact and what rounds they think he won. We then also had a wider discussion about the gym, about the fight team, about training, and the fight results that the teams had as of recent. Jimmy and Joe have high expectations, as they should. The team in general has always performed very well in the past and gotten good results. Those results, unfortunately, have slipped a bit as of recent, and Jimmy and Joe went into that. They unpicked why they think things have maybe slipped and what they're going to be implementing in the gym for the fight team moving forward to help improve our performances and ultimately get those results, get those wins that we're looking for. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. Was this fight a robbery? What rounds do you think Riley won? Which rounds do you think he lost? It'll be very interesting to hear everyone's opinions on the scoring and whether they think the outcome was a just and fair one. And these fight recaps are here to stay. We're going to be doing a fight recap for pretty much every card that the team has going forward. So you don't want to miss them. Hit that subscribe button. Share this video as well. Hit the thumbs up. Like I said, drop a comment below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for supporting Being Human.
It's quite a good venue, isn't it?
You know what? I've got a sweet spot for a soft spot for the golden ticket venue.
Yeah, I like that one as well.
I like this one more.
Yeah.
It's a bit. It's too weird backstage. It's freezing when Jack fought as well.
Usually pretty rough, and usually crowd can be a bit hostile, can't it, sometimes?
We are officially live now.
That's
and
right.
I don't want to have to edit this, so
That's fine.
bear that in mind. That's fine. That's fine.
I don't mind. I like. If I had to
think they do
pick,
a
I'd
good
say
job. I think they do a good job. at this.
BMF's the best venue.
But too many fights.
Yeah, too many
Too
fights.
many
Yeah,
fights.
everything has pros and cons. Too many fights on BMF and on KK Steel Mill, or Golden Ticket. Just the backstage and everything could be a bit better, but it is what it is, isn't it?
20 is a lot. I don't like 30. 20 is a lot.
That was ridiculous last time.
30
It
fights
was one
right
day.
there.
You've had it over 2 days before, didn't it?
And it affects everything like the.
Yeah, but not the one.
Oh,
That's why I think you're doing 30, wasn't it? So we only ran it over 1 day.
It can affect everything. You lose the atmosphere. The judges probably lose interest and concentration.
You're trying. Yeah, you reckon?
Potentially, yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But definitely the atmosphere. I feel like it
does make it a bit
thins
quiet,
out the
yeah.
atmosphere the longer it goes on. Yeah.
yeah, because people just come see you. They come see
Yeah.
you and go.
That's what I've noticed. On these shows, usually the crowd should be the biggest, the most packed out and energetic at the main event. That's usually how it goes on the show. But on these shows, by the time it gets to the main event,
Midway is when it's busier.
yeah,
Who
like
sells
top
the
of
most
amateur
tickets?
card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even top of the amateur card. It's usually kind of like midway through. Isn't
Yeah.
Was there many left when Joey fought?
No, it's very quiet.
It was a bit of a graveyard.
Did you stay to the end as well? Yeah.
Yeah, that's with these guys. Yeah.
We Chuck reversing, got some giggles though.
Oh yeah, Joe's opponent walked out to the sound of a truck reversing, and he walked backwards down the ramp.
Is he a Geordie guy?
Yeah, he was on that thing yesterday, I think. Yeah.
What thing yesterday?
No, he's on.
He's on it next week.
Yeah.
But he may be the guy who did it on
What thing?
Cal's
What you
show.
about?
Cal's show next week.
Oh right, yeah.
He's on that.
Grappling.
Yeah, grappling. And he's
Carson
been on,
Coe,
he
innit?
I think he's been on it before, and I think he walked out the same.
Roscoe, not Carson.
Right. Yeah,
Carson
Roscoe.
shoot.
Yeah, Roscoe. Yeah,
Roscoe,
I knew it was
yeah.
Coe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carson Coe's the lad.
shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the commentators do, mate.
Yeah, Roscoe. What? So he's grappling next week, is he?
Yeah.
Well, what belt was he then?
Steve was really nice to you.
Nah, mate, you give the
I
fight to
think he's
the
a
other guy.
purple or a
and he was
brown
saying I
belt.
wasn't doing
He's
anything
fairly
like that.
decent. Yeah.
And I was.
Is it?
So,
He's an older guy. Yeah.
Say what, sorry?
No, Steve said I wasn't trying to do anything off my back. Like, he's not even trying to go for submissions, and I was constantly trying to offset my hips and trap his hands and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he weren't doing anything on top. He was just locking your hips
and
down.
he wasn't. And he was like, he's just chipping away, and I was like slapping his face and that, and he wasn't.
So let's go into what was the game plan if there was one going in?
Well, it's always hard, isn't it? Without amateur fights, because like there's not always a lot to go off, is there? That's close enough, isn't it? That's close enough. And well, I knew he backed up with his chin in the air a little bit in a few fights, so it was the head body overhand I was looking for a little bit. I didn't throw enough of.
You cracked him early on, flashed him, but then he gave you one back and it put you
And
off.
then get hold of him, put him on his back and beat him up. Then hopefully sub him. That's what I wanted to do.
So simple game plan: light him up on the feet, into the takedown, into the submission.
Yeah, basically.
That's
what I wanted to do. Yeah,
ideal.
that would have been an ideal scenario.
Yeah.
Any notes, Jimmy?
No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
I think one thing that is worth noting off the bat is this guy was very tall and very long, and I think that definitely aided him in some of the reversals that he was able to pull off.
Certainly on the wall run, his legs and that, but on the wall runs, he reversed Riley with a couple of times. We was telling Riley, but them long legs, we were shouting Riley to go back to the half guard, but it's hard when you're in there listening and concentrating. And I think the couple of mistakes he made on the ground could have been easily fixed by just dropping back to the half guard or getting in between him and the cage a bit better. But eyesight's a great thing in it. But when the lad did reverse Riley, I think he just, in the third round, just holds him on a body lock, and in the second round, just lays in the guard and doesn't even throw one punch, from what I remember. So activity-wise, felt like the kid really threw a few more kicks, and the two reversals is the only thing that sticks in my mind. But I know Riley got the takedowns, landed the better hands. The kid did throw more kicks. I don't know, I just felt like Riley had done more than the kid, to be honest. You know what I mean?
How are you feeling when you're walking out at this point? Obviously, you've had a fair few fights. We talked about nerves before, didn't we?
Yeah,
what were the nerves like?
I was more nervous yesterday. I was saying to you, I was more nervous for my grappling match yesterday.
And you won yesterday.
And I won yesterday.
Very quickly, very dominantly.
I was nervous because you're always a little bit nervous, but I was like pretty cool. They put my fight forward a little bit, which was a bit like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's even closer now. But me and Dean carried on in the back while they went to corner Jake, and I felt good, super present. Like, yeah. I remember last time I fought, I was walking out and I was a bit like, oh shit, like it's happening now. And it sort of came upon me super quick. And next minute I was in the cage and he was in my face, and it was a bit like, oh shit, you know what I mean? This time it was a bit like, I knew what I wanted to do. And I was like thinking about it here. I was like, I'm going to put my hands on you as quick as possible, and then not punch or kick you for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, you definitely came out with more urgency on the striking side of things in this one.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure I started, because I've always been the one on the back foot.
He catches him with a right hand straight away here, but then the lad lands one back, and it kind of puts Riley off his striking a little bit throughout the rest of the fight. But you watch, there's a right hand just here.
Yeah.
At the start, I think it is.
But if he just leads with the right hand a bit much, I think he just get his lead foot a little bit closer.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
That was a lovely right.
It's a little bit short, though, isn't it? A little bit more lead foot on. I think that puts him on his arse. You know what I mean?
I went to left up, right hand him here, like try and cut him off, and then he sort of lamped me with his right hand across. It still hurts now.
Mm.
He's very long, isn't he?
Mm. Yeah.
Muscular as well, ripped up.
Yeah, he looked big for the weight.
He just touched you a lot more with the legs on the striking. I can understand why they maybe for on the striking he lands, obviously score hits for him more, but I don't know, mate. He scored a takedown.
The clinch there. It's just not the cleanest work. Like I said, I felt like you won the fight. We'll see over this now. I have watched it back since.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You just made a meal of it. That's all it was. But I definitely still feel like you won the fight. Yeah.
I think it's that. I think the only thing the kid did was land a few kicks, from what I remember, and that right hand just there. I can't remember him doing anything else
in the wall runs.
And the wall runs, but I'm on about apart from that. But even after the wall runs, he every time he had a dominant position, he didn't do nothing. Squeeze that body lock on the cage and just lay it on top. Like, okay, Riley weren't great, no offence, made a few mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But what did that kid do? So Riley didn't win the fight. But what did that kid do to win the fight?
So we're
Riley's
halfway
the
through-
aggressor.
Yeah.
Halfway through the first round at this point, we had 45 seconds of pretty even striking, I'd say, and then for the
Takedown.
45 seconds, Riley.
No, it's glitched out.
Oh,
Let me just give it a pause, see what happens. I'll talk about the first 9 seconds.
No, hold on. But now we're on the back. Yeah. So I thought this joke was him. I mean, you got the hooks. He just
Slides off there.
Here, he pulled my heel out, which made me fall off on the
Yeah,
side.
just not on the back how you need to be.
Yeah.
Just slightly falling off.
Still tight up until he popped my hand there.
And then once he's got that,
I
yeah,
think you were 40 seconds away at one point from getting a tap on that, but he peeled the hands nicely, didn't he?
stripped that lever hand well. Yeah, he did a good job with that.
So there you go. First 30 seconds even. Riley, Hodgkin's time, they might say because he was on top for a minute, but he don't do it. Nearly finishing the fight with a takedown and a rear naked as well.
Literally just pushing you up against the cage. His hands are underneath you. He's got no intention of striking. You're hipping out, trying to submit, punching off the bottom. Again, aggressive. It's just the position that favours him.
Yeah, I go for a couple of subs here as well.
You
So
go
it's not
for
like
the
I'm not
armbar, don't you?
trying to
Slips the
make
elbow, though.
something happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can score that first for him, just because of the submission attempt and how even the rest of the round was.
You got
Yeah,
the
I finished
takedown,
on my
you landed
back,
the right hand.
but he's not really doing much here.
No,
Couple of shots.
Nothing, they're not shots. Not even lifting the head out of the chest to punch you. Do you know what I mean? There's no posture there. He's just, he's not. There's nothing meaningful there. He can't throw a meaningful punch to the head on the chest. He's just swinging the arm. You know what I mean? I don't understand how you can lose that round. I say, yeah, even striking. Maybe he landed a kick extra. You scored a takedown. You nearly choked him out, and you went for the armbar whilst he just laying on top. But who knows, man? Judges might just look at the clock because he was on top for a minute at the end. I don't know. For me, you won that round.
I definitely want to work on the urgency of getting up as well, trying to rely on that jiu-jitsu a little bit too much. I think arms are definitely a bit gassy at this
Like
point.
Craig Jones has been saying in a lot of interviews just lately. I've seen clips of him. He says that the way the jiu-jitsu guys teach, or the traditional jiu-jitsu way of retaining guard and everything else is taught, it's the polar opposite of what you want to do for MMA. You're literally grounding yourself underneath someone, whereas in MMA you have to give your back a little bit. It's kind of to create a scramble to get back to your feet. It's two rule sets.
Yeah, two different sports.
Yeah, two different sports. Yeah. I do remember the rounds; they felt so quick in this. I know the 3 minutes,
there was
but
a couple of times in the second. I remember it. I don't know if it was their corner or someone banged on the outside, and I thought that was a 10-second klaxon. So I'm like waiting out the next 10 seconds, not trying mad to get up, and then it's been like 30 seconds. Then I hear the klaxon. That threw me off a little bit. I may have tried to get up a little bit more. That was too far. Yeah, this is the only one I didn't get.
I think
takedown wise.
I think when he clipped me that right hand earlier, it just made you really hesitant. You just need to get behind your jab, get our lead foot on, whether it's a fake, and just get a bit more lead foot. You arbor that right hand. You just need to get your lead foot on. You weren't doing it. You were leading with the right hand from too far away, which is something I never see you really do too much. You know what I mean? But I think he just caught you early and gave you a little bit of a.
Respected it a bit too much.
Yeah.
he's landing some good stuff on the feet.
That's some good kicks, but you've got the sense of the Ochkin here. You know what I mean? You're Ochkin control. He's not absolutely outpointing you, outworking you. Like, you're landing as many shots as he is. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Did it throw you off that he was longer and taller? Because it's quite rare that you're on the other end of the reach and height advantage.
It felt like he was further away than he was, and when he was hitting me, it felt like he was a lot closer. But now I watch it back, I could have punished him so much more, because a lot of what he did was smoke. You know, it was just
his leg a little bit more as well.
That was the nicest level change of the whole night.
20. That's your second takedown attempt, and you controlled the octagon there on the striking. He might have touched you a couple more times, but you had the octagon center. You pushed him back. Yes, he defended a takedown, but you aggressed. It was the aggressor who went for a takedown, and now he scored another takedown. We're over 90 seconds into the fight now. For me, unless you do something miraculous, as you win that round, that's you pressing the action.
You rip him out again here, don't you? Yeah.
Free take. Yeah, so
That's
free.
a nice leg, That was a really
Yeah,
nice
so
This
free
was
takedown.
beautiful. This is the
Yeah.
hardest
I
part.
feel
to
like-
watch where I let go of this leg lace.
I feel like I might have done him a favour here as well because I was shouting again. I was trying to make you aware of the wall run that much. I think it almost aided him in going for it. Here you go. He wall runs just exactly
Toes,
the same.
fingers, everything in the cage. Cheers, Rex.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think he does it again in the third round as
He
well.
does, yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much about a very similar time as well.
So that's it. That's 2 minutes 10. I feel in your favour. His head's in the shed. This ain't ground and pound. This isn't ground and pound.
You're
No
punching
offence-
him
no
as
offence
much.
to the kid. He's buried his head. He's winning the round. He's playing the game fair play, but he's not doing nothing meaningful. You're on the back for 49 seconds of the last round. I don't understand how you can lose that first 2:20 in that fight. That first part of that round. Again, I'm not sure. Maybe we're being biased, but I don't see it. He's holding. You know what I mean? Where's the work?
I think with judges that are applying the scoring criteria perfectly, I think this is Riley's fight. Obviously, we're all biased, but I honestly think this is Riley's fight.
Well,
the problem is the psychology of Riley ending up
on the
on
bottom.
his
Well,
back.
we're 2 rounds down there. That's 2 rounds gone now. Not 2
I
rounds
agree,
down,
we
2
should
rounds
be.
up, but he
Yeah.
hasn't threw one shot from the guard with his head off his chest.
I agree.
He hasn't. You know what I mean? He hasn't
He
even.
finished every round on top.
But he hasn't
It's-
even
it's the
postured for a
psychology,
shot,
isn't
so
it?
It's
That
like,
lingers in the judge's mind.
In terms of like jiu-jitsu as well, I know it's not jiu-jitsu, but you get points for a takedown. You don't get points for a reversal.
No.
Like with that said as well, like it's not like he's done anything mad. He's just been lucky enough to kick off the cage. Yeah, it's a bit of fight IQ. Noticing
the
it's
old
there.
saying goes, when you're on bottom, you're losing until you're winning. So
Yeah.
that's how it looks in the eyes of the judges. When he's on top, he might not be doing a lot, but you're on bottom, you're losing until you're winning. Until you pop that sub up and catch him, you're losing it a lot of the
You were
time.
saying under the legs there, weren't you? You're going too under the butt. Get under the legs on the takedown.
yeah, you're a little bit high. That's
Yeah.
why I make a bit of a meal of it. But I don't know.
And the third round as well, like I'm the aggressor at the start, and then I get the takedown, and then he reverses me again. But he reverses me, but I don't end up on my back. I just end up on the
Yeah,
fence.
just body locks you on the fence. So what's scoring criteria? Effective striking, octagon controls. That's the centre of the octagon.
Hit
Yeah.
me in the dick, didn't bother.
Damage. Okay, you didn't really damage each other too much, but I think he does land a few more kicks this round. But you're touching him as well.
You're
He
landing a
says
lot
too.
more. You're landing a lot more yourself.
Yeah.
The second round, he was landing more, but you're landing more. It's
Only
just as much.
fractionally. See, that was all right, but you just paused.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
too
not
close.
landing. Yeah, you should have stabbed that back leg.
That's smoke, innit? That is.
Yeah, you should have stabbed, just throw your stab or a jab. You just waited. See, here is what he's outworking him here. That's where he's outworking right. That's how I remember it. That little window there. Yeah, nearly him in the head, but that's okay. It didn't land. But again, he's not the. You're not bossing it, but he certainly ain't bossing the striking, is he?
No.
It's pretty even. He had a little bit where he threw like 4 or 5 unanswered kicks, which the judge might remember.
This is
But-
the difficult thing about amateur, right?
You
Because
took the centre back again.
That's
here
a
as
minute
well.
on. Who's won that? I don't know.
That's
It's very
even at
close.
best.
Either you're on the front foot. You're on the front foot that little bit more. This is 50-50. If the judge gave it in for them little burst of kicks, okay. Still 50-50. You're in the centre. He's working a little bit more. You're not really doing enough here, right? Needs to be a bit busier. Maybe start touching the legs. You see, that wasn't a great move by you. You
Yeah.
just took yourself off the cage.
Yeah.
A little bit of give and go. He's chopping his legs a bit more. So this is working in his favour. But again, a pretty poor takedown attempt. But a takedown attempt
Gets to the body lock.
gets to the body, you know.
so I imagine that leg hook's a lot more difficult on a taller opponent. Is that right?
It can be. Depends where he's putting his energy and stuff. You know,
Yeah,
again,
I
sit
managed
down
to-
a little bit, look to elevate him a little bit. But that's nice.
Broke him on the underhook there, didn't you?
Yeah.
This is where I think I was shouting too much and he wall runs
My
you.
voice was gone, weren't it?
Yeah, I was literally screaming.
See this here, and I was calling go to half guard.
Yeah.
Half guard, get back, but it was too late now.
I
But
didn't
he was
realise
listening. You're
he
trying
was-
to turn him off the cage that little bit.
Yeah.
No, it's not really an armbar there. He comes out the back door and then you end up on bottom again.
So that was you in control with 2 takedowns. Well, a takedown, and on top for 30 seconds to a minute, 45 seconds. He's reversed it with 45 seconds left, and again ended around him being on top. But look, he's what's it got? Again, head on the chest, he threw a little right hand. He's playing the game well, but I don't know. It is a close fight. It is a close fight, but I just think he just did enough, to be honest.
Yeah, I still think he did enough. I'd have been happy with a draw, to be honest, as rare as they're
I
given.
would have been mad about a draw because I'm not an idiot. I can see it's close, but I just don't know how you can.
I just don't know what he done so well apart from the wall runs and the holding out position at the end of the rounds. You know what I mean? But, this is the game. Don't even handle the judges. The other day, a judge may give that to you. Who knows? But
Well, they did. Judge did give it to him because it was a split decision.
More judges,
yeah.
The decision goes the other way. It is what it is. But it was what it was.
So to kind of give a concrete evaluation of it, Joe and Jimmy, and you as well, Riley, how many rounds do you give to Riley out of the 3?
Minimum of 2.
Minimum of 2 as well, yeah.
Which ones do you think were the strongest?
Probably 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 and 2.
1 and 2, but even when I look back at it, the third, like not it's even at best in the third. So yeah, 1 and 2 if I had to give them, yeah, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think all the rounds were pretty similar. Obviously, we've dissected it as much as you can really throughout that. But what do you think Riley should take away from this gym technically? What do you think he needs to improve on technically?
Yeah, I mean, technically, obviously on the striking, get behind his lead hand a little bit more, sitting down on his punches a little bit more, leading with the lead hand. I think chopping the kicks a bit. Listen, we're going to start doing a lot more heavier pad drilling, adding a lot more things in. Needs to be a little bit fit, I might say. It's not being he said then, like that lactate in that first round. It's a 3-minute round. Your arms can't have lactate in after a 3-minute round. They just can't. No matter how, you can't have lactate in your arms after 3 minutes. So a whole new emphasis on S&C for the whole team. No one's going to be fighting for a few months. There's a couple of exceptions if the fights come available. But yeah, 2 S&C sessions a week for the whole team, overlooked by yourself and Nathan. Nutrition, cardio goals twice a week, and then just implementing 2 extra MMA squad sessions a week, making the Saturday one, so 3 sessions a week, and 1 or 2 heavy pad sessions a week. So probably changing the time, so probably implementing 5 to 7 sessions across the whole board because of this weekend. Because of Christie's fight and Jack's fight, just things that as of late, I think it's given me, the team, the kick up the arse that we need.
The conversation that we had Saturday was you asked me for my 2 cents, whatever that's worth, and I said I felt like we just lost a bit of intensity in the sessions and in the gym.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want the gym to be at a place where it's a healthy environment in that people can come and relieve stress and have a good time. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be fighting, competing competitively, you want to win.
I think
there's got to be an intensity.
Yeah, I think it's a catch-22. Obviously, we're under. We have massive overheads at this gym. Do you know what I mean? And we put a lot of hours in. I'm here all day, and it's we're under pressure to make it work as a business. So maybe just lost focus and too busy focusing on that over focusing on both. I think that's I blame myself for sure.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Aaron. It's the intensity and
because I feel like I felt like because of that. I think that's my excuse anyway.
It's all like we're trying to juggle that many. What's the saying? Balls, plates, whatever. At the time, like. Yeah, it's one thing saying about, we shouldn't be so focused on the overheads and the business, but you're not, then you don't have a gym to train in. So we've got to keep members coming through the door, and we've got to keep it friendly to that hobbyist and just public class guy as much as we've got to build the fight team. But the fight team needs a little bit of extra focus away from all of that, and that's what Jim and myself are here for, and that's what's going to get done.
Yeah,
he's took a totally new ethos after this fight. He's started up a group chat. There's positive changes that have been provoked from this, and I feel like Jimmy's hit the ground running with looking to change things. So your point that you made, I think that's a lot to do with the reason we've lost these fights, and Jimmy's going forward now with forefront in that resolution, that solution.
Yeah. I think it's just, kick up the arse. It was much needed. There's a whole new schedule now, new criteria. People don't hit that criteria, you're going to get pulled. If you're not hitting, if you're not a great runner, then you give me certain the times I expect on the rowers and the verses. If you're not hitting your cardios, if you're not doing the sessions that are asked of you in the group, then by all means be part of the team, but you ain't fighting. And answer me back. No, answer me back. Get on with it. Don't know it all, but I don't answer Alexis back. He pretty much does know it all, but still, whoever it is, any coach I've ever trained with, even if I thought I was in the right or had an opinion, I shut my mouth and get on with it. And we push through. We get the results that these boys are capable of doing. Like, no more bad drives home. I can't be doing with it. It's doing me in. You know what I mean? Work all week and then we go to these events for these guys that we're emotionally involved in. You know what I mean? And it hurts. We're sad because we win through them. You know what I mean? The glory and the highs and the lows, we feel it as much. And we've had some depressing drives the last few weeks, few outings, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like heading around shit. And because all we want to do is, we don't want the glory from it. We just want these boys. Our glory is their glory. You know what I mean? We don't want any. It's not the cloud to be. It's just wanting these boys to achieve what they're capable of. You want to see people's hard work pay off. What they're capable of. You know what I mean? And the lads do put the work in, but it's changed now. It's changed. It's different.
Not long ago, we went 7-2 across 2 shows, pretty much on back-to-back weekends. But again, it might go back to a repercussion of what we've been talking about, getting the business in order and everything else. Our focus has slipped on the guys a little bit, not like in terms of like the training when they're on the session, but at the end of the day, they're not kids, but we're there to make sure they're doing what they're meant to be doing. And that, like now, Jimmy's took a total ownership on like their cardio and their extracurricular work, because there's a saying that I heard not long ago, and I agree with it. I've been in managerial positions outside of fighting, and I've learned this as well. People don't do what you expect, they do what you inspect. And Jimmy's now looking into what they're doing, not just assuming they're doing it, taking it as a gimme. He's looking at it and do you know what I mean? Analysing it and wanting them.
I've always said what I expect or what should be done and stuff, but never really.
Sometimes guys will all make
never really fucking inspecting it. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone will make an excuse for themselves. I will. It doesn't matter how disciplined you are. You can sometimes do that. Like, I'm not saying I'm the most disciplined guy in the world, but you know what I mean. Like, when someone's breathing down your neck, you don't even have to think. You just have to do. And people do what you inspect a lot more than what you expect. There'll be the exception to the rule. Like, I can rely on Riley, Max, Sam to coach a class without really even thinking about it. I don't have to badger them every week. But then other things like your runs, your extra cardio, the improvements you want to be making in the gym, or you want as a coach to see your fighters making as a gym, that's for you to hone in on and make sure that it's happening. Yeah, and I think that's what Jimmy's going to start doing, and I'll definitely support that myself as well.
And as a finishing note, Riley, on your end, what are you going to be doing proactively to bounce back from this? You already bounced back in a way because you had a great performance last night on Guerrilla Invitational. You got a quick sub over a really good guy. So yeah, touch on that if you want, and what you're going to be doing going forward. What are your plans?
More purposeful role in terms of like MMA. Too jitsy still. Like I've had 6 MMA fights now. It's coming out of me a little bit, but like still a little bit too working through positions, not like cooking my opponents a bit lost on me sometimes. Like I should just stay that leg weave would have won me the fight if I just stayed there and just hammer fisted him, just chipped away, and that would have definitely secured it for me. So that, and then all what Jimmy and Joe have just spoke about anyway. Just make sure we're hitting all them numbers and
you can always get fitter, faster, stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just the sessions ain't gonna be pleasurable.
No, and the
sessions ain't gonna be pleasurable. The session I've done this week for the squad guys and squad guys in the day and the weekend. Yeah, the sessions just ain't gonna be pleasurable. Yeah, laugh and joke and stuff, but
that's it. We can smile before, we can smile afterwards.
Yeah, but we just get to work. A lot more harder work ethic in the sessions.
Old gym style was a bit more like that. I feel like
Colville.
Yeah, I used to shit myself before sessions.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I said.
Yeah. So just a bit more of that. Chris and Nathan had a tough session of the week. Monday we got work in. I can't remember what the days. Well, Wednesday, brought back the old, just bringing old stuff, just bringing stuff that I've done for 20 years back. You know what I mean? A lot of like post-fatiguers and pre-fatiguers and bad positional stuff, functional circuits, and just a bit more like,
more purpose, more intensity.
Yeah, it's a bit more fuck you to it.
No.
Right. It solidifies your mind, doesn't it? When you've been through the fire that many times, you're a lot more willing to embrace and endure it. Yeah.
I think just a couple of times guys had the confidence to sit down and just let their hands go a little bit more and a bit more power punching and, you know,
Easy fixes.
a bit more of a, just more of a plan, more discipline and confidence in the plan. I think they've all got the plans, they've all got the patterns, they've all got the concepts and their ideas. It's just they get a little bit tired or they get a little bit cut or I don't want to get too tired or, you know what I mean? And, oh, it's not going my way. Don't matter. Getting them to that point where I don't give a shit what's really happening. Do you know what I mean? They're just going to carry on doing what the plan is rather than question the plan or question themselves or be worried about the cardio. Just go and do a lot more rather than
leaving it in the hands of the judges.
Yeah, it's going to scare. And if it just gets to the judges, we're going to be never or very low. I will always think shit.
Yeah.
Right, there's no way.
Proactively being a lot more dominant and aggressive.
So. That just comes down to work ethic and mindset. Mindset day to day. Them day to day grueling sessions. I think that makes a difference. I do.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Unless anyone else has got anything to add to that, we're going to rebuild, go again, and watch this space.
Conversation next time we get a win.
It'll certainly be a different look. Listen, God forbid we go out next time and we lose 3 decisions. I guarantee we lose 3 decisions, but I'll drive home happier.
Well, that's it. If you know nothing's been left on the table.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he can do better than that. He is better than that. I still think he won, but he can do better than that. Do you know what I mean? He can do better than that. Obviously, it's about the wins. We want to win now. We're not. But again, if you go in there with every stone or no stone unturned, then I can handle it or swallow it a little bit better. When you look at yourself and you realise you've left stones unturned a little bit, maybe.
Then it's bitter. Looked in the gym leading up to that, and the improvements I know that he has made, even right up to the warm up, he looked great in the warm up.
Who's that?
Riley.
Oh yeah. Him and Jake look fantastic. Joey looked good.
They all did. Jake obviously trains like a pro anyway. Riley juggles a full-time job, is in as much as anyone. They trained for this, and they'd look good in the sessions I'd at least watched over, and I know that they'd definitely made improvements between them, but Jake didn't get a chance to show it, and Riley made a meal of it. That's the best way I can say. Like Jimmy, I agree, he won the fight, but you don't want to be winning fights like that. Even if we'd have got the nod, we'd probably still be having these same discussions.
Yeah, of course. Well, going into this fight anyway, what's happening was happening. When we're going 3-0, I said this to you, I don't know if I said it to you, but this was stated after, well, actually stated before Golden Ticket, just before Golden Ticket, when I was talking about, Jack's S&C and stuff. It was stated before Golden Ticket. After Golden Ticket, this was a non-negotiable outcome. Even if you guys are going 3-0 at BMF, this is the way it was going. So it's not like, oh, it's your fault. This is my fault. This is my fault. This is why it's going this way. This was already decided weeks ago.
We spoke about this weeks ago. The shows were booked. The fighters were scheduled to compete. So we just wanted to get a clear view of space ahead in terms of like weeks and months to implement this new plan. But Jimmy's had this in mind for a while. The decisions and the results wouldn't have changed what's being implemented currently at all. It was already on the cards. Yeah, I can vouch for that 100%.
No, 3 months at least. There's a couple of exceptions. Obviously, Ali's the exception, and maybe Dean if they get the right matches and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'd like 4 months before the guys fight again. I want the team to go out with a whole new air of athleticism to them, mindset, and just solidified their souls. They're coming back different, trust.
They always say the sky's dark. One of my favourite sayings is the sky's darkest before the dawn. Eh?
Doughy. The sky's doughy.
No, the sky's darkest before the dawn. So let's hope that all these shit nights are all there leading up to being catapulted forward to something good.
I think so. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think the future's bright. Like you said, we're going to make the changes necessary, take some time to rebuild, and then go back out there and go again.
Future's bright, future's orange.
Yeah.
We'll leave it on that, I think. Sound out of that.
Sound boys.
Thanks for that. Future's bright.